It got in.
Yes, Mrs. Smith, you can handle this, right?
The Rabbids are back, and for the first time ever they're appearing on a console release without Rayman firing plungers at them. But do they need his spooky floating hands to be successful on their own, or can the Rabbids safely leave Rayman behind? The past Rabbids games on the Wii were party game compilations. That's not a complaint, since they're some of the best party games available on the Wii. Rabbids Go Home decides to shed that skin. This time, it's a full-on platform experience. Commanding two Rabbids in their shopping carts, players dash through levels and steal everything in sight. And by everything, we mean everything, including people's clothes, their personal belongings, and in some cases, their dogs and toys. Their end goal? To create a pile of garbage so high they can use it to get to the moon. Controlling the Rabbids is easy enough. Movement is controlled with the analog stick on the nunchuck, while holding down the A button will cause the Rabbids to move at maximum speed. Power sliding causes your wheels to catch fire, which can then be used for a quick boost by pulling the B trigger. There is no jumping, so quick boosting at the right moment on ramps is the best way to get maximum air. If you're good enough, you can even use your shopping cart as a jet ski in water. You collect circled items in the environment, and at checkpoints you can unload your cart into tuba-playing Rabbids to be later flushed down the toilets and back to the giant garbage pile. The more stuff you collect, the better you do in that particular level. If you die, you lose all your precious garbage that hasn't been properly deposited. Happily, there seems to be a tuba player just before most difficult situations. While humanity might not have a problem with the Rabbids leaving the planet, they do take issue with having their possessions pilfered and running around in their skivvies and hiding on the nearest object they can find. To stop the Rabbids, the humans have deployed an inflatable army of exterminators. Ranging from standard foot soldiers to proton pack carrying exterminators to fully armored rolling units, most human obstacles can be stopped with a few patented Rabbid streams from the Rabbid in the command seat. Obstacles of the non-human variety can sometimes be popped by launching Rabbid missiles similar to shooting stars in Super Mario Galaxy by clicking the Z button on the nunchuck. Otherwise, the Rabbids have to return fire at inflatable cannons with their own cannonballs, or in some cases, just avoid the obstacles altogether. Most levels are pretty linear, but they give you ample time and space to do some roaming. Other levels require you to collect a certain amount of garbage in a larger open environment before the Rabbid band will allow you to proceed. There's also a city hub that allows you to change foraging locations within town. The further you proceed in the game, the more humanity will fight back in the hub. Some levels you pack up the cart and bring it with you as you steer a few non-traditional modes of transportation, like an inner tube and a jet engine.
Flight 714 from Sydney will be arriving at Gate 12.
Large pieces of junk can also alter the way you steer, like the cow that will make your cart incredibly heavy, and the sick man in the bubble who will allow the Rabbids to float for a short amount of time. Yes, that's right, even the man in the bubble went into the making of the tower. The game's music is fantastic. Mixing in covers of songs like Come Go With Me and Bobby McGee, and John Denver's Country Roads don't seem like they're fitting, but their stark contrast to the deranged Rabbids somehow makes perfect sense once you start sinking into the Rabbids' insanity.
Don't look behind you!
This time the Rabbids are a little less scary and a little more cute and funny. But don't let your guard down. They can still be pretty dark and scary. The platforming is incredibly easy but addictive. Rabbids Go Home will make a great game for anybody with kids or anyone who has a casual gamer in the house. The difficulty level doesn't ramp up until some of the later levels, but those levels will leave even some of the most seasoned players with sweaty Wii remotes and nunchucks. There are also few minigames available, but one of our favorites is the one that's opened up right from the start of the game, shaking around a Rabbid inside your Wii remote. Rabbids Go Home is a sugar rush in video game form, and we love it. The Rabbids' plan of building their Babel to the moon is absolutely ludicrous, but their enthusiasm is infectious. After a few levels, you'll be hooked on the idea, and you'll be off in search of the nearest unguarded cow or vending machine that you can throw onto the pile. Rabbids Go Home is a full-priced game. It's also a full-featured game. Completing the game can be done without hitting up every level, so you'll always have fun running back and completing the ones you've missed. On levels you've already completed, you can always go back and try to collect every piece of garbage. There's also a fun surprise at the end of the game, but we won't ruin that here. You'll get a few extra kicks out of the minigames, hardcore gamers will find a decent rental out of Rabbids Go Home, while more mainstream gamers might find a little more. This might be a try before you buy situation, but if you're looking for something new to do with your Wii, then Rabbids Go Home might be your fix.